Hey everyone, we're going to have a go at drawing this cute little traditional picture of a Santa. We're going to use the grid method, which is from my book, Learn to Draw Grid Method. It won't be like this. This is an A4 example that I have printed off and bind at home. You will get an actual book. It comes in just over A5 size so that you can also travel with it, use a pen, take a pencil eraser. That's all you'd need. You can be doing it while you're on the train and all those types of things when you've got a little free moment. Right, what you'll need is a pencil of some kind. I've got one of these new never-ending everlasting pencils. You'll also need an eraser. I recommend an electric eraser if you can, and you might want to grab yourself some kind of black liner pen, as we'll line it afterwards as well. Now, all it comes down to with these activities is observation all the time. Let me just straighten that up. I'm a little bit OCD and I'm not enjoying the wonkiness. There we go. Right. So I'm going to start with the hat and I'm going to use small strokes, little strokes, and I'm just kind of scratching away at the paper and looking as I'm going all the time. My head is constantly looking across and my brain will start to realize anyway where everything is. It's strange like that. It's just kind of, if you keep looking, it will just kind of appear. So we're going to do a little wrinkle in the hat, which starts right here on the line where the bobble is, comes up like that, and then we're going to come round and then come down a little bit to about here. Then we'll carry on from this side. We want to just now be drawing in the rough outline of where his hat, I would say actually about there, haven't come down far enough, is placed on the page. So we're looking at the lines of the grid and we're literally just copying across. I'm just doing rough little lines to get a general feel for where it all is, and then it should just appear. So I just want to get that right in there as well, and then that comes quite up high up there and then down again. Perfect. Right, so now the tricky parts will be doing his face. So I'm going to start on that straight away. Now we're going to draw the nose in first. Okay, and we're going to do it we're literally copying. Okay, we're literally copying. Don't be afraid. I know we're drawing faces. I really struggle with drawing faces, but when you're using the guide here, you can't really go wrong. Okay, so we're going to go up that way. I'm going to draw in some of those angled. I think I've come down too low there, so that's another reason why you need the eraser. I think what I'll do is I'll draw the main part of the eye in first, which is, there's not much to it actually, to his eye. His eyes are quite closed, so they're kind of coming down a bit. So the angle of where you draw them is really important as well. Then from the corner of that eye, we'll do a few wrinkles coming up to the eye. And then the important part is that bit there, because that's kind of sizing where the eye is. And we're going to bring that right down to the corner, and then some other lines coming out. And now we can draw some of the other descriptive lines as well, and we're just going to draw the eye in there with a little bit of colouring for the eye. So far it's literally just as it is on the picture. Now I'm going to come across from where, now we've got to try and place things not just where they are according to the line, but also where they are according to each other, or they won't make sense. So we're coming round here. We're going to do, for the eye on this side, it's slightly kind of closed even. So we'll just draw that in there. He's definitely a cheeky Santa Claus, this one. Definitely a cheeky Santa Claus. So I need to come up higher to match the other kind of eyebrow. I was too low, and then come away. That's much better. But now we can come in and draw those extra lines for his eyebrows. Can you see that? Okay, so the side of his face just comes out to about here, where the eye is, and then we've got a cheek. Santa's got to have those cheeks, hasn't he? Definitely. Now, to draw the rest of the face in, we kind of need to get the beard going. So we're going to come from the nose, quite high up on that square there, right in that corner, and we're going to draw the first flick. And then we'll draw another few flicks to come round. And then this one comes here. And then we're just going to draw some more flicks. But from here, you want to focus on where your centre is. Flick round. There we are. Then we're going to come from here. And from the very end of his nose here, we just do that line. Can you see there's just that one line coming across there, and then we're swirling round. We're swirling round his beard this way, and it needs to come up as well as we swirl it round. So I'm going to swirl round here and swirl round here, and that's kind of created the other part of his moustache. Can you see? It's the top of his beard. Right, so now I'm going to come round and do the rest of his beard. So this one's quite low. And the lines are actually coming from quite high up. Let's get his mouth drawn in. So he's got a little bit of a mouth there. I think I did that a bit too high up then. So there we go. And I love the fact, now when you come to the beard, all we're doing is building up this space full of lots of little lines. So you can kind of just run with it however you want. As long as you've got the lines, they're all coming from here anyway. They're all kind of coming from, so I'm just, again, I'm still looking at the image and I'm looking for the main lines to help me with the general shape of his beard. Because if I can get those main lines in, it doesn't really matter too much where the other ones are, because we're just building it up, as you can see. Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll draw some lines coming down. This one actually should come up to here. Can you see him starting to come together now? And all I am doing is I am looking at the picture. That is it. Oh, do you know what we mustn't forget to do? Let's do it now, because if we don't do it, it's so easy to forget. That bobble, which is right up near his eye there. And I'm just drawing lines in to make it look like a bubble, whatever you want to call it. Right, so let's think. So we've come here. So we need this one. I think should have come out a bit more, but that's okay because we need lots of lines anyway. And then we've got one here. I really like that there. I just love how it's all so sweeping. It's gorgeous. And then another bit there. A nice big sweeping beard. So let's do that one. And then we need another one actually coming from that one. And then there's another one that kind of comes around there. And then we're coming up. We're starting to come up. We hit that line there. Okay. And then from here, past round the line, we're coming up as well. Now we're coming out. And we're starting to build that up around there. We need one that comes quite far out. But then we're coming quite far in because we now want to think about joining it up to the top of the hat. This reminds me of the old version, the traditional version of Santa that's on the Coca-Cola bus truck thing on that advert. Right, so now I'm just coming in to fill in some of the details, and we don't need to worry too much as long as we've got our placement right. And we just bring some lines down. We need to get his ear in, which is about here. So I'm just going to do a bit of hair in like it is there. I'm just copying. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So he's got an ear now. That's good. So he can hear his reindeer. Right. And then here, I'm just going to draw a line down to there. And literally, I'm not even looking now. I'm just going to draw some swirls in and some cute little markings that emphasizes that the beard is wavy. And that's all it is now. Okay, so I'm going to put some in and then we can come back and do our markings. I won't talk now because all I'm doing is just putting the swirls in and kind of just looking a little bit at the picture, but not worrying too much. Because at this point, you can put in as much detail as you like, as much or as little as you like. Doesn't seem to be much in this area actually, so I won't go too crazy there. But there is more up here. So let's get some little strands in coming around his ear. And just where we put our curves in, we need to put some extra lines in to make it look like it's coming round. And same here. There. I'd say we're pretty much done. So now we go over it with a liner pen, and this is where we are a bit more specific about where we're drawing our lines and where we want that final image to come alive from. Okay, so I just did some rough lines before and I'm really just going over it the same way. I just kind of want it to look fluffy. So it's just lots of little lines. I've copied it straight from the picture onto the grid exactly where you can see it. Although the lines I'm not copying, I'm just doing them because I know they're there. Now in terms of decorating that, we need to then come in, and I didn't do it when I drew it in pencil because there was no need. I'm just going to come in now and just fluff it up a bit by putting some lines in, and that's all it needs. Okay. Definitely needs some more down the front here. And coming across. Basically, you just put in as much detail as you want. I'm just doing lots of little kind of mini marks. I'm just flicking. Basically, I'm flicking the pen, okay, to give it some of that detail. And then you can come in and do some dots as well. Doesn't matter where, just wherever you want them. Just as they are in the image, there's quite a lot of little dots on there. And that helps to give the feeling of that fluffiness as well. Okay, so that's the start of the hat. Now I am going to just do as much of one clean line as I can on the hat. And then we'll put the curves in. And again, with the bobble, we're just going to use our lines to create that nice bubble shape. And then go inside with lots of other little marks to help create that bubble effect. Okay, let's do the other bubble while we're in bubble mode. Comes right up to Santa's face, right up to his eye. So I need to get that in. I'm going to put a few dots in there as well, and a few dots on that one. And what you put on the hat is up to you. I think it's fine as it is. I don't think it needs too much, but you can put like a few little lines in to show that it's curved there and it's bumpy, and you can put some more little curls in there to show that it's curving round there as well. Okay, and you could actually just put some in the end there, and I think that's fine. Right, so we're coming back into the face. Again, I'm going in with the nose first because I kind of feel as though that places everything else for us. Coming in with the eye. And he's got a little bit of white still left in there, so we need to leave that in. Okay. And then this one is kind of curved up. It's like he's smiling, isn't he? So his eyes are kind of scrunched a little bit. So then we need to come around like that. Just draw some lines underneath because that's exactly what's drawn on here. It's just to make him look a bit wrinkly and old. There we go. Like he's got big bags under his eyes. I suppose he is tired. And then I'm just putting some little lines around the nose and just some little dots here and there. I'm going to go over to the other eye, curve the eye round. Let's see, and that was the top. That's kind of where his face comes round. And then we've got these lines here, which basically shaping his face. Okay. Now I've lost the white bit for his eye, but what you can do on this eye, but what you can do with that is you can always come back in with white. Okay. Right, let's do the bottom of his eye here. Again, he's looking tired. He's got little bags under his eyes. Right, ear. So we come around here like this, and then we want to make sure we've shaped his face how we want to with the beard. It's all kind of just coming down to the point where we're meeting the moustache. So let's do that. Let's just draw that cute little curly moustache in. There we go. There's been so many different kind of styles and depictions of Santa over the years, hasn't there? And nobody really knows what Santa looks like. What he actually looks like. Or maybe he's had lots of comebacks and changed his style, hey? Let's put it down to that. Now, how much detail you go into compared to this page is completely up to you, isn't it? Yeah, so you can put every single little line in that's marked on there, or you can just minimize it a bit as well, which is what I'm doing. So we're going to come around and loop in our loopy lines, all for his beard. Such fun. Try not to be scared. I know when we're learning to draw it can be a bit scary, but just have a go. There we go. Let's get some like smaller details in there if you want to, like on the real image. Put some dots in, but you know, you don't have to. As long as you've got those main swoops in of his beard, it's all good. Because that's what's giving the idea of his big, long, bushy beard. And remember, we're just doing this for fun. Don't get too stressed out about what it's going to come out like. Just enjoy the process. This is switch off time. It should be relaxing. Yes, you are concentrating, but you should be switching off from anything that's draining of your day and make this fun. So don't try not to make it hard on yourself. Enjoy it. Again, we're just following the lines I've already done because I've already done the hard work. I've traced it over to the grid. So what I suggest you do next is you draw the grid again on a piece of paper, then draw him again, and your muscle memory will kick in and be like, oh, I've done this before, and you'll be more confident with it. And you'll know what's coming because you've already done it once. This is like your rough version. And then once you've done it and you've done it in pen and you rub away the grid and you're left with a beautiful image. You can colour it in if you want to, or you can leave it. Now, what I normally do is transfer the image onto a piece of paper and then I'd start to cuddle it. Cuddle it? I definitely don't cuddle it. Colour it. Okay, so I wasn't going to colour it at all, but do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put like little hints of colour in. I'm not actually going to colour the whole thing. Just going to do that because I don't have much time today to do a full tutorial, but I love black and white. When you have black and white and then you just get that little hint of colour. Don't get much, but just a little splash. So let's do that. And I think we need to give him some rosy cheeks. Should we give him some rosy cheeks? Let's just do that little splash in there. Look, under his eye, under his cheek. Do the same here. That's kind of cute. Cute little blushing Santa. Should give him a red nose as well, shouldn't we? Because it's cold. Again, you've got to just do it how you want to do it. I'm going to get a nice bright blue colour. And we'll just give him, well, the trouble is now I've gone over it in black. So if you want to give him a coloured eye, you'll need to not go over it in too much black. But I've given him a little bit of blue eyes in there. Beard wise, I mean, he's grey, isn't he? He's got a white grey beard. So I have got a grey out somewhere. So what we can do with that is just come in and maybe just put a few lines of grey in here and there. Let's give him some pink lips, shall we? He's got pink lips. There we go. But as I say, this wasn't really going to be a colouring exercise. I do have other videos on my profile in my series where I do go through colouring techniques and showing you how to do it. But today I think we're just going to leave it there. And just, we've had a bit of fun. Let's put some grey on his eyebrows. He looks like a very merry chap. There we go. I think I'll just come around the edges with a little bit of grey. There we are. There we go. And a little bit on the bubbles. Now I've started colouring it and I'm really enjoying it and I want to do it properly. Never mind, I just don't have the time. Lots to do. So maybe I'll do a bit more on the hat. Maybe we'll just come round the bottom here. And we'll just colour in the hat so the hat's done. Can't help myself. It's the trouble when I start arting, I don't want to stop. I just want to keep going until I'm really happy with it. But sometimes I just don't have the time, and I'm aiming to do like a page out of one of my books a day. So with normal life and running the business and everything, it's not always very easy. So sometimes I'll just have to do a drawing one, and sometimes I can redraw it and colour it in the way that I explained to you earlier. There we are. So now I'm going to come in and just darken those areas quite a bit more where the shadows are. I would spend a lot more time than this normally, but it's something, isn't it? I couldn't leave Santa there with no colour. There we are. Let's just darken this up a bit. There. I think that will do. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that session. Do come back every day. I'll be doing a new design. So far out of the Christmas book, we've done the cute little gnomes, we've done the sweet jar, and today would be mostly black and white anyway, even if you didn't want to colour in, it just would. It's one of those kind of designs. So please do check out my series. Please do check out my shop, as I've got lots of books in there and painting kits and things to help you learn. And check out my link in bio and you can see everything that I do. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good day.